My name is Tracy Sulkin, and as Dean of the College of Media at the University of Illinois, I'm delighted to welcome you to the 25th anniversary of Roger Ebert's Film Festival. We're happy you've joined us at this milestone occasion. As many of you know, Roger Ebert was one of our journalism alums and became the first film critic to win a Pulitzer Prize. To continue his legacy, our college launched the Roger Ebert Center for Film Studies in 2022. Now in its second year, the Ebert Center just wrapped up its final event for spring semester, the annual Ebert Symposium, which addressed the theme of representation and their critics. Thank you to our panelists, Michael Phillips, Chicago Tribune film critic and mentor to our Roger Ebert Fellows, Megan Cruz, the highly popular TikTok movie reviewer, Bobby Miller, culture critic and host of the Afternoon Special podcast, and Dana Stevens, Slate film critic and co-host of the podcast Slate Culture Gabfest. We appreciate all the time they spent this week, especially with our students. This academic year, under the leadership of the Ebert Center's acting director, Angela Aguayo, an associate professor in our Department of Media and Cinema Studies, the Ebert Center has expanded its programming. After kicking off with a community building welcome event in the fall, the Ebert Center hosted the annual Ebert Lecture and has screened 7 feature films, all free and open to the public. If you haven't joined us yet, we invite you to attend a future Ebert Center event held at the University of Illinois Spurlock Museum in Urbana. Since Ebertfest's inception in 1999, the College of Media has been a proud host of this landmark festival. Thank you to our partners at the University of Illinois, the Champaign Park District, our loyal sponsors, our dedicated volunteers, and you, the movie fans, for helping us bring these films and their creators to town. Let's ensure that future generations know the story behind Roger Ebert's Film Festival and become part of this enriching tradition. Finally, a special thank you to Molly Cornion, our Ebertfest project coordinator at the College of Media. Molly's devoted so much care and attention to every detail that goes into organizing this event. Thank you also to our longtime festival director, Dr. Nate Cohn, and to our co-founder, producer, host, and friend, Chaz Ebert. We appreciate all the time and careful consideration they spend to make this a memorable and joyful festival. So once again, on behalf of the College of Media at the University of Illinois, welcome to Ebertfest. And now I'd like to welcome Chaz Ebert.
Hello there. Hello. Wow. So these lights are brighter than usual, and I can't see you. So I'm going to step away from the microphone for just a second so I can see you. I am so happy to be here. You know what? This is a new microphone. It's so loud. Does it sound like I'm screaming into the microphone? This is a great microphone. I have to put on my glasses so I can say, this is my script. So, we have to do 2 things before we get to the movie tonight. The first thing I have to do is thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of you who have been coming and supporting the film festival for so many years. I think Cyberfest was in 1997, and that was a birthday party for HAL 9000, the computer from 2001, A Space Odyssey. That was one of Roger's favorite movies. So the university invited him to come back for Cyberfest, And they said it was so successful, they asked, will you think about doing a film festival? And it was supposed to be for 1 year, a film festival 1 year. And so after the first film festival, it was great. We were on our way home, and as we were driving home, Roger said, hey, we got to start planning for next year. And I said, I thought it was only supposed to be a 1-year film festival. He said, but now it's a tradition, so here we are 25 years later. And I want to tell you, Roger was so proud. He's proud of his hometown, and he was proud of this crowd that came to Ebertfest. He said over the years, we went to film festivals all over the world, not just all over the United States, all over the world. And Roger said, you know, at Ebertfest, we have some of the most sophisticated film goers. They're open-minded, they're curious, they welcome films from other countries, they welcome independent films and independent filmmakers, and he was really proud of you. And some of you know that some of my beliefs are a little woo-woo, and so I just have to tell you, I really do. You know, there's something I'm up there, but Roger, if you hear us wherever you are, this weekend at some point, make yourself known, because this is the 25th anniversary of the Ebertfest Film Festival. And the second thing I have to do is to call out the festival director, Nate Cohen, who's been the festival director for the whole 25 years. Dr. Nathaniel Cohen, please come out. And he doesn't know I have a gift for him.
Oh, wow. I was just asking her backstage, what's that you have in your hand? And she wouldn't tell me.
While you're talking, I'll open. You can open.
Oh, okay.
You'll talk and I'll open.
Okay. The lights are really bright. I can't see you all, but I know you're all out there. And we really are happy to have you with us to celebrate this 25th anniversary of Ebertfest. I'm really curious about what's in here. Oh, wow.
It's a private note, but it's a leather-bound copy of Roger Ebert's The Great Movies.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Wow.
And this is a rare book. Somebody tried to sell it on eBay for $700. So I don't want to see it on eBay.
Thank you so much.
You're
Chaz.
welcome.
It means so much. Yeah, it's great to be back for the 25th year. As Chaz said, this started with the birthday party for Hal the computer. This theater had been shuttered for a number of years, and they were in the process of talking about tearing it down. And we opened it up, and we discovered that in the projection booth up there where James Bond is at the moment, our projectionist, and Joaquin is there with him. We discovered that the projectors, Norelco 70 millimeter, 35 millimeter projectors, were still there. So James refurbished the projectors, put in new lenses, and we showed 2001 in 1997 in 70 millimeter, and we were just blown away by this theater. So we did everything we could to preserve the theater, and one of the ways we did that was starting this particular festival. So a lot of memories, and we've got some great films for you this year, so have a good time. Buy some popcorn.
And something else, so because it's our 25th, I wanted, one year we had an ice cream party, and I wanted to do something like that, but they said I couldn't bring all that food inside the Virginia Theater, so we have some other surprises for you as we go, as the next few days go on. But we also wanted to dedicate this festival to the memory of Roger and also to the memory of a good friend of the festival, Professor David Bordwell, who just passed away recently. And we have with us Michael Barker, who's going to say a few words about David Bordwell. Michael.
Hi. Thank you for allowing me to say these few words. David Bordwell was probably the smartest American cinephile I have ever met in my life.
Wait a minute. Smarter than Roger?
Even Roger would give this to him. Because Roger introduced me to him. And he introduced me to him saying that. Because when it came to films, David Bordwell was not just about the movies. It was knowledge of the world. He was one of the best read people you could ever meet. He knew about history, he knew about philosophy, and that knowledge, that kind of Renaissance knowledge, is what caused him to be the great film historian and film critic that he was. There's never been a better book written on Ozu where he literally talks about every movie that Ozu ever made, which is unbelievable. And these books he wrote with his wife, books about storytelling in Hollywood, about films we remember that we love. We don't know why we love them. They're the kind of movies we watch, and every time they're on television or wherever they appear, we have to watch it again no matter what. He explained why, and he could analyze a scene unlike anyone I've ever met, except for Roger and Citizen Kane. Roger could analyze Citizen Kane better than anyone in the world. That was untouchable. So I think Roger has a friend up there that he can now talk about films, and in a lot of ways we are diminished by David Bordwell's passing. So it's great that you're commemorating this festival to him. Thank you.
Thank you. And we send condolences out to his wife, Dr. Kristen Johnson. Both she and David Bordwell graced our stages many times over the years. And so we're sorry, saddened at his death. Now, let me get back to this. Throughout the festival, we will show trailers from the students of Professor Victor Font. These students are Eileen Salgado, Jane Baer, Emily Stutzman, Anthony McClendon, Eric Hernandez, Aiden Allenford, Daniel Tu, Chris Modi, Bo Revenaugh, Bridget Nolan, Luis Duran, Kinsey Parsons, Ryan Johnson, and Zipu Lau. And so you'll see them. Let's just give those student filmmakers a hand. Let me see. Oh, okay, this is something new. One moment, let me check. It's a good thing I checked with the committee because I have a treat for you. We're going right to the good part. We have with us tonight someone who was born in Biloxi, Mississippi, and grew up in and around the Atlanta area, Eric Roberts. Eric Roberts began his career in theater in New York City, where he won the Theater Award for his role on Broadway in Burn This. He made his big debut in Hollywood in 1978 with the feature film King of Gypsies, for which he received a Golden Globe nomination for Best New Male Star. He had 2 more Golden Globe nominations, Best Actor for Star 80 and Best Supporting Actor for Runaway Train, for which he also received an Academy Award nomination. In addition, he received acclaim at the Sundance Film Festival for his role in A Guide to Recognizing Your Saints and It's My Party. He also starred in La Cucaracha, which won Best Film at the Austin Film Festival and won Best Actor at the New York Independent Film Festival that same year. Other notable performances include his roles in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight, Final Analysis, and Paul Thomas Anderson's Inherent Vice. He played the main villain in Sylvester Stallone's The Expendables, as well as Linda Lovelace's doctor in Lovelace. On television, Roberts' memorable recurring roles include USA's Suits, CSI, and Code Black for CBS, NBC's Heroes and Crash for Starz, where he played the lead. He has appeared in guest role stars on ABC's Grey's Anatomy, NBC's Will and Grace, Fox's Brooklyn Nine-Nine, CBS Hawaii Five-0, HBO's Entourage, and so much more. What I have to tell you about this actor with us tonight that I have never been able to say about anyone else on this stage, he's been in more than 730 films. Please help me welcome Eric Roberts.
I'll see you in a
I'm
minute.
gonna stand here.
Wow, what a beautiful theater, huh? I know we're here celebrating, 40 years since release of Star 80. I have my lines here because I only know when I read. And there's a lot more to it than that, of course. It was also 35 years before the Me Too movement. And sadly, if you look deeper into Hef's world, Hugh Hefner, with his daughter running it, you'll see that underneath the satin was something very tough, rough. And it is key that Hef included his daughter as part of his operation. Jeffrey Epstein had a woman as a lure to give false hope and assurance to his girls as well. I think the message of Star 80 resounds as loudly now as ever, but a more uplifting note. Fosse had the guts to bring the story out, and I bet many lives were actually diverted from a bad road because of this story. I want to thank Chad Ebert and all of you enough for bringing Meryl and me here. And Roger, I have to trust and believe that you knew and know that your approval meant the world to me. You're a big part of the reason I carried on and keep on. Thank you so much. Now, this movie is going to upset you no matter what side you feel you're on. It is that good a movie. Also, just a little movie maker's note. Every location in this movie, from the mansion to the place where the deaths occurred, or the actual places everything really happened. Bob Fosse and I spent the night there one night, way before we were going to shoot there. He said, I want to take you to this place. I want you to spend the night with me. I said, why? He said, because I want to stay overnight. I said, well, I don't want to. He said, no, I want you to. Was I supposed to say no? So I stayed. It was horrible, but I loved him like I love my family. He was a genius, and once you work with a genius, A true genius, you know two things: that you're not one, and they're so hard to find. He was one. I hope you enjoyed this movie like I'm proud of it. Thank you so much.
We are going to be closing the curtain to start the movie, but I'm going to make one plug. I've never done this here before, but I'm publishing my first book on May 7th. And actually, a lot of it really got started at some of the things that we did here at Ebertfest. My book is called It's Time to Give a Feck, F-E-C-K, not the other word. It's an acronym for forgiveness, empathy, compassion, and kindness. And I think we're going to have it for sale. I'll be signing some books in the back lobby all throughout the festival, so we don't have to do it any one time. But for those of you who are watching on YouTube or wherever we broadcast, you can go to giveafeck.com to get the book. And thank you. Roger said that movies are a machine that generates empathy. And I have to tell you, over the last 25 years at this festival, with some of our guests, with some of our films, with you talking to each other in lines in the audience, and just keeping up with some of you all year round, I really learned a lot about empathy and compassion and kindness. And the F in this book came from someone on this stage when we showed a film called Disturbing the Peace between the Israelis and the Palestinians. And I remember when the audience, you didn't know that we had those guests backstage, and the curtain opened, and I remember we had both Palestinians and Israelis here on stage with us, and the audience went wild, and we were saying, maybe there's hope for peace in the world. I've thought about that film every day since October 7th, with all the tensions that are going on in the world. And I have to tell you, that's when I learned a lot about forgiveness. Watching the movie, talking to our guests, also talking to Archbishop Desmond Tutu when we gave him the Lincoln Prize. But I really have to thank you, because if it hadn't been for Ebertfest, I don't think I would have written this book. So make sure you buy it. Thank you.